Yo, what is good with y'all boys? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm gonna be teaching y'all how to use Blender for Roblox thumbnails. And before we get into it, make sure y'all subscribe, smash that like button, and comment down below any suggestions, any videos I would like to see in the future. And let's get right into it. Okay, so once you have Blender downloaded and open, I will be leaving the link in the description to where to download Blender. But pretty much it's going to be pretty simple. Now, one of the main things you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find a rig. I will be leaving a link to a Google Drive file that is the rig that I use, and I will basically be teaching y'all the ins and outs of all of this. So pretty much once you open up Blender, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is just click on General. And what you can go ahead and go do from here now is you're going to want to click File, Open, don't save, and you're going to want to find the file that has the rig in it. I personally like to go for default.blend. I don't use faceless because it tends to crash my Blender a lot. I have no clue why, but pretty much once you open this up, it's going to take you here. So before we do get into any of this, I just want to give you a little quick tip. Click edit up at the top left. You're going to want to hit preferences, and on this little screen you're going to want to go to the key map and search up fly. Now you can change this to basically anything. I like to do Shift F and I'm very comfortable with it already, so you can change it to Shift F, and basically when you hit that on your keyboard, it'll let you fly around, navigate, and overall make things a whole lot easier for you. So now that we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the mouth and all of this because we will not be needing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything from here by clicking on the bottom, hitting shift and clicking there. Now you're going to want to click X. It's going to have these big squares pop up, but to fix that, you're just going to want to go ahead, go to collection, go to boy rig, go to body, and you're going to want to delete the mouse drivers, mouse control, the eyes, and then you're going to want to delete the tongue, and go ahead and delete these cubes, all of this right here, and just like that you will have a clean rig. So now what you're going to want to go ahead and do, which this does require Roblox Studio, is go ahead and open up your Roblox Studio. I'm going to wait for it to open. Okay, so as I was saying, you're pretty much going to want to go ahead and open up Roblox Studio. On the new section, you're going to just want to go ahead and make a classic base plate, a base plate, either one of those. And you're going to need a couple of plugins for this. So head over to view, go to toolbox, and down here in plugins you're gonna want to go for two things. You're gonna need the already pros load character, so you could just do load character, and just like that you'll be able to download this, and you'll be able to do this. So this is basically going to load in any character of yours that you want to put into Blender. At least this is just for the clothes and accessories that you're going to put onto the character. So once you do download it, make sure to go to plugins, click it, and this little menu will pop up. Make sure to click spawn at origin, and let's just say I'm going to put my username in. You're going to want to spawn it as R6, which make sure you spawn at origin. Make sure to click that off, or else it will be a little bit buggy, because spawning things in, you really have to make sure that the click properties, go to view properties, you need to make sure that the position or the origin is at 030. That's basically just gonna put it in the middle of your Blender. You don't want to import something into Blender and the next thing you know it pops out way somewhere you can't even see it. So to actually export all of this, you're gonna want to go ahead, click on view, click explore, and you're gonna want to click on your character. It should highlight blue. Now I'm gonna teach y'all how to export the hats and the clothes. So for the clothes itself, you're just gonna want to right click on the actual character, hit export selection. You're gonna want to make a brand new file somewhere. I have characters blender here, which I'm not gonna export any of this because I already have a character I'm gonna use, but pretty much you're gonna want to name it anything, and just like that you export it and you leave it like that. Now for the accessories, it's a little bit different. Now if you're gonna want to export every single accessory at once, then you're just gonna want to go ahead and click on one, hit control on your keyboard, and click on the other and get all of your accessories, and it's gonna be the exact same thing. You're just gonna want to right click and export selection. Now whenever it comes to accessories, you do want to make sure that you make a separate file for that, because there's PNGs that basically hold the texture and the actual way that the image looks. So sometimes when you import it into Blender, if you have everything in one file, it will sometimes mix up those textures and just absolutely randomize your accessories or your clothes, which we don't want that happening, right? So pretty much you're gonna want to make a separate folder for that. I have props Blender right here. I have a whole bunch of stuff on there. You just export it into there, and that's basically all about what we'll be needing from Roblox Studio. So go ahead, click out of that. I'm not gonna save it. And once you get back to Blender, what you're gonna want to go ahead and do is you're gonna want to click on the head of the character. This doesn't work in any other way. You have to make sure you click the head. Make sure on this bottom menu here, you're gonna want to hit the little circle with 2 black sides, 2 red sides. Under surface, you're gonna want to hit this one right here and change it to principled BSDF. Once you change it to principled BSDF, you're going to want to head here to base color and click on the yellow circle. You're going to want to change it to image texture, and it's going to make your character all black. Basically what we're doing here is we're going to put the picture, aka the clothes, onto the character. So we're going to hit open here and head to whichever file you put the character in, and just like that, you're going to want to hit handle 1 diff PNG, and as you can see, it puts the character, the clothes onto the rig. So for the accessories, you're gonna want to go over here to the top left, go to file and go to import, and make sure you do wavefront.obj. It doesn't work with anything else but wavefront. So click that, go to your file where you have your props. I'm actually gonna only put a hair on this character, so I'm gonna put the hair on them. Now sometimes the hair or accessories will spawn backwards, which or in any type of direction. To fix that, just go ahead, it depends. I like to just rotate my character, so I'm gonna click this little circle down here, hit this little square object, and we're gonna change the Z here to 180, and as you can see, it changes the character and makes it in the right direction. So now that we've done that, we could get to posing automatically, but there's kind of an issue. The hair doesn't stick to the character. So what you're going to want to do to fix that is you're going to want to head up here and click on your hair first. Make sure you click the hair first, or it will glitch the entire thing out and it will not work. So make sure you click your hair first, hit Control on your keyboard and tap on char 6, and then you're going to want to go over to the gray part of the screen, hit Control P, and make sure you do set parent to object. So now once we rotate stuff, you can see the character has the hair with it and it's not buggy at all. Now basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna spawn in a basketball, because this is kind of a basketball related rig. So we're gonna go down here, we're gonna add my basketball, and this one is actually spawned off. So if you do mess up and do that, basically what you can do is make sure there's a little origin right here is set in the middle of the map. You're going to want to right click and put set origin geometry to origin, and you can fix it just like that. So in case if you forget, you know, in Roblox Studio to set the origin to 030, you can just fix it by doing this. So now what we're going to go ahead and get into is just modeling the character, posing him in any way. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna make a little dunk animation, nothing crazy, but you know, I am gonna pose him, so I will speed this process up.
Are you still there? To delete this message, press 7. To save it in the archive, press 9. To hear more options.
Alright, so pretty much once you're done posing the character, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make the basketball tinier, which if you don't know how to navigate throughout any of this, it's pretty simple. You know, just hit anything here on the left side, whatever you need to do, scale, rotate, transform. I'm just gonna scale the ball down a little bit, and now I'm going to put the basketball in his hand, and I'm not gonna go too crazy with this. I'm just trying to do a quick simple tutorial to teach y'all how to do this stuff, but I do want it to look somewhat decent. Why is my circle doing that? Okay, so actually, yeah, I think I do want to fix this. Alright, so pretty much once you're done posing the character and everything, we're now going to get into the rendering part, which is pretty much just finishing up the image and, you know, exporting it out into a PNG. So pretty much what you're going to want to go ahead and do is make sure you have the all the settings correct. So click this little TV, which I do have one more thing that I actually have to teach y'all. Make sure you hit film, make it transparent, and then for the render, now render is pretty important here because this is basically how well your character, your image will come out. So depending on what you're making, if you're making a simple thumbnail like me, I make a lot of my thumbnails when I use Blender with just one or maybe two characters. I don't go anywhere over 1,000 render quality, mainly just because of the fact that one, it could be a little bit time taking, and you know, especially if you're trying to get a quick thumbnail done, not everything has to be perfect. When you're looking at a thumbnail up close, you can see every little pixel that's wrong and right. But when somebody looks at something on YouTube, let's say on their phone or on their PC, on their TV, they're not gonna notice absolutely every pixel. So just make sure to keep that in mind in case if you're a perfectionist, because I have problems like that too. But you just have to realize everything you see is not everything that others will see. So make sure that these samples, I'm gonna just put it to 500. You know, it won't take too long. It'll probably take like 5 minutes for this to render. And now for the basically last touch, we're gonna be adding lighting. Lighting is very important. I should have taught this earlier in the video, but at least I'm not forgetting about it. You're gonna want to scroll down here, or what you can do is on this little corner, it's gonna pop out like this, and you can make a different one like that. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna delete that because we do not need that part. But now what you're gonna want to go ahead and do is, if you make this side, make sure you just hit this little like tic-tac-toe looking thing and change it to the shader editor. And oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Okay, my apologies. So make sure you change this little thing right here. It should be a clock or something, whatever it is. Make sure to click it and change it to the shader editor. So once you have this little screen right here, what you're gonna want to do is change it to world, click use nodes, and scroll in a little bit so you can see what you're doing. Make sure you add and go to texture, and once you hit texture, make sure to click environment texture. Now connect color to color on background, and this is the part where it's going to be a little bit weird. Pretty much what you're going to want to do is you need an HDRI for this. If you don't know what an HDRI is, pretty much you're going to want to go to Google or whatever, you go to the internet and search up Polyhaven. Polyhaven is a website that has these HDRIs that you need. So make sure you go to this website, download whatever you want, whatever you think is best, download multiple, and check out whichever one is best. So the one that I'm going to be using is one that I downloaded a while ago. So you're going to want to find it, hit open, find it wherever you downloaded it. And now whenever you look here, if you see these four little balls right here, hit the fourth one, and pretty much as you can see, there's some lighting on the left side of this character. If you want to see the background, go to film again under the TV and click transparent off. So now this is also very, very important. This is pretty much where you're getting the lighting on your character, and you don't exactly want everything to be very shaded or nothing like that. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna select everything on my character, hit rotate, and we're just gonna rotate him towards the light. And now we're gonna hit this little shade. So as you can see, the character is very lit up. He has very good coloring. Now I hate shadows. This is a very personal opinion type of thing. I don't like shadows whenever it comes to my rigs. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the shadows off of every piece of thing that he has. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to object, and we're just going to start clicking on every body part. We're going to scroll down here on the right side and go to visibility and turn shadow off. Now you don't have to do this exactly. I just like to do it because I don't like shadows in my thumbnails or in my rigs. So we're gonna click absolutely every single body part and take the shadow off in visibility. Make sure it is visibility because there are other parts in here that will show the same thing, the shadow. Make sure it's under visibility. because if not, then the shadow will continue to pop up. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get rid of the shadow on every single one, and now we're gonna click on here, and as you can see, there is no shadow except for under here, but that's because the lighting isn't hitting my character like that. We could fix that by you know, selecting everything and making them move up like this, but I think we'll be perfectly fine just like this. Now it does look a little bit bad, but now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go back to this little TV, we're gonna go back to film and make it transparent. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna hit the output on the right side of the screen. Make sure you have it at 1920 x 1080, or depending on how big your thumbnail size is, you can make it 1280 x 720. I suggest for the best quality, make it 1920 x 1080. You can always resize it in your thumbnail software. So I changed the FPS to 60. I don't really know if that's a big deal or not. I just like to change it to that. Now this is the most possible, literally the most important part. Under output, you're gonna want to change the file format to PNG. Make sure you hit RGBA 16 color depth and put the compression to 100%. This is just making the quality 10 times better compared to, you know, normal settings. Now I'm pretty sure that's just about it. Now we're actually gonna take care of the photo. So what you're gonna want to go ahead and do here is at the bottom next to object mode, it's gonna say add. You're gonna want to click that and hit camera. It's gonna add a camera to the area, and what you're gonna want to hit is 0 on the number keypad. If you can't, then I kind of forgot how to do it. There are other shortcuts to it though. You can find it in the preferences. So now I'm just gonna angle up my camera to try and get a nice little angle of this picture, and now I'm just gonna hit render image up here. Whoa, I hit render animation on accident. But yeah, you're gonna want to go ahead and hit render image, and just like that, your character will come out looking beautiful. Okay, so I forgot to mention, once the image is done rendering, make sure to hit image and click save as or save, and it'll just save it to your computer. As you can see, put it into any file, name it, and then save it. So I'm pretty sure that I can leave the video here, as I've taught basically the ins and outs of Blender. If y'all do want any more tutorials, let me know what y'all want in the comments down below. I'm open to any suggestions, and if you need help, make sure to join my Discord server in the description down below. And hope y'all boys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.